Are you sick and tired of having your ads totally flop and not having any clicks, any leads, nobody signing up, and most importantly, well, the thing that sucks the most is spending your money on nothing? I get it, and we solve that problem all the time by writing killer ad copy, and today I'm going to show you exactly the framework we use so that we can get anywhere between 20 to 50 members per month solely with using Facebook ads. Now, this is a really strong strategy, but you really need to stick through the end to understand the whole thing. I'm going to break this down exactly step by step, so at the end of this video you have something ready to use that you can use in your own situation, and it's going to be extremely fast to see the results. So I'm going to hop on my little drawing app so I can share that with you more easily. That way the points get better understood for you. So first and foremost, we got to understand two things. Your ad needs to create two things, which is going to be emotion. Sorry for the handwriting, by the way, I'm not the best. And it also needs to evoke an action. Extremely important too. Because if you don't have those two things, people are not gonna go ahead and keep going. You really have to think about this, that people, if you're advertising on Facebook, for example, and by the way, like, I'm just not talking out my ass, I'm Gabriel. We help gym owners on a daily basis to scale to 7 figures and above. And we do that for multiple types of gyms in different type of industries and access, CrossFit and things like this, martial arts even, so yeah, we know our stuff. And whenever people are on the Facebook, you are competing in a certain way with constant dopamine hits, which is really hard because, like, just an ad is not, well, most people's ads, let's put it that way, most people's ads are not as enticing for people to actually go ahead and take an action. But what you really have to think about is if you can evoke some strong emotion and make sure that people are engaged in the ad emotionally, you are going to have a lot of success. And I'm going to show you how you can use that to get them to actually take action and show up to the facility. But this is one of the first things you gotta understand first before going into like cool frameworks and things like this. If you don't evoke emotions, it's not going to happen. Extremely, extremely important. The thing is, what we're going to be aiming to do is this emotion that we just created, we're going to aim to solve the thing that we create. So we're going to aim to solve that. And if you take a look at the structure I'm using with this video, it's kind of the same thing. I just said, hey, are you sick and tired of this thing happening? And in this video, I'm going to show you, which is kind of my copy, the solution to the pain point I just created. So it's an extremely, well, interesting, and also it's a great segue to go ahead and go into the process by itself. Two to three things before we go into that. Making sure you understand that, that's a question I get a lot, is, okay, should you be doing long or short form copy? Honestly, both works. You can make it work with a short form, you can make it work with a long form. But the thing is, if you follow this framework, you're going to get results. Now, is it the only framework that works? No, there are tons of frameworks that works, but I'm going to show you something that is proven to work. You can start working with that, and you can also tweak it in your own variations and your own way to use it forever if you want to. But if you want to test out other things, I'm not I'm preventing you to do that. You can definitely test out other things, but this thing is proven to work. Now, common mistake that a lot of gym owners do. Everybody understands now, and if not, I'm going to reiterate that, the importance of having a great offer. It's always important having something that makes sure people are eager to take action and check it out because it makes sense. But a big mistake that a lot of people do is that they play it only on the offer. And why is it a mistake? Because in the end, that's what gets you. The leads are like, oh, I'm here for a 10-day free pass and that's it. They're not really like attached to anything. They just are coming because they wanted to get a trial. They just wanted to get a free like gym session or free coaching session. That's it. If you center your copy around the offer too much, you're going to get those people. So that's why bringing emotions around that is important, because the offer is only a way for them, for it to make sense, to say, okay, I'm feeling like shit right now. For example, if we choose to evoke some anger and sadness, I'm feeling like shit right now. How can I make sure that I solve this? Oh, this seems like a great thing that can solve that. And this is really the thing. I'm going to show you how we word that into a real copy so that you have an idea. But this is kind of the framework we're going to be using there. So don't center it only on the offer. And also, last thing that I wanted to touch on before we go into the juicy framework that I have for you is it's going to help you a lot to build an avatar. So for us, when we are, you can qualify as an agency, but we are really a growth partner, if that makes sense. when we go ahead and we start with a new customer, we always do the same thing. We always build an avatar and get a great understanding of who we are talking to. And what is an avatar specifically? It means that, okay, I understand exactly who am I talking to. Because if you don't understand that, you can't really understand what pains they are feeling on a daily basis, what their lives looks like. Because if you do, you have instinctively a great understanding on what's the problems in their life, what are the pain points they are facing, and how you can turn it in a way that you can go ahead and fix that pain for them. That's really the thing. So make sure you do your due diligence, you know your dudes, you know your people that are coming to the gym, your best customers. Make sure you reverse engineer their lives and say, okay, what was the pain point they were trying to fix initially when they came to the gym? Once you have that, I'm gonna help you to implement that into a framework that is proven to work and works bananas, my friend. I got my notes on here to make sure I not miss any points. So let's go ahead and dive into this one, shall we? Alright, the framework is extremely simple to remember. The acronym for it to be remembered, oops, sorry for that, is gonna be PPP. Simple, 3 P's. And it stands for number 1, pain points, okay, pain points. Then number 2 is gonna be push on the pain point, and number 3 really, sorry, is gonna be the pain killer solution. There is more to it than this, but we're gonna start from here right now, alright? I'm just gonna explain what this all stands for. So those are the 3 P's, alright? Pain point, push on the pain point, and pain killer solution. So what you're going to be creating, I'm going to take an example for weight loss because it's the easiest, everybody understands weight loss. What you can be doing is, let's say for example, you start with a sentence like, hey ladies in X county, are you sick and tired of having your New Year's resolution never achieved and having all this extra fat accumulated over the holidays? Now, ideally, I'm just making things out of the top of my head, but you want to make this shorter because this first sentence is going to be the first sentence that is short in the ad. You know, they can click more, like see more to actually see the rest of the copy. So make sure this includes not only the avatar that you want to talk to, if you target them, which I advise you to do, like ladies and men, separate both genders, and also the area you're reaching out to. And also after that, you really have like, once you say this, like 5, 6, 7 words potentially to make them like, oh, there is something in there, like there is an emotion that it talks to me, you know. So make sure those first words make them feel like, okay, I should read more than this. And it makes me feel like, okay, I should be reading more than this and check out what this thing is all about because it feels like me. Because you're touching to pain points, remember that your avatar is receptive to. That's really the main thing. Because if not, nobody's going to click on the ad in the first place, all right? So understand that in the first place is extremely important. So we create this pain point, we create this emotion, and then what we're going to be doing is we're going to push on the pain point, all right? So let's keep going, let's keep this copy out of my head for a second and see where we land. So let's say I read a word in my head. Let's say something like, hey, ladies of X county, sick and tired of this extra fat accumulated over the holidays. And then the second sentence, pushing on the pain point, can be, hey, do you feel like you get every single year this is the same story and those New Year's resolution never get actually achieved? Something like this. You push on the pain point, they're like, yeah, that sucks, you know? Now, emotion-wise, you can make them feel happy, you can make them feel angry, you can make them feel sad, but a strong emotion. When you're reading it and you put yourself into the shoes of your avatar, this is really what we do. When I'm writing copy, I'm extremely aware of, okay, I'm putting myself in the shoes of this person. Am I feeling emotionally tied to this when I'm reading it, all right? Because if not, it's not going to be working, all right? So go ahead and do that. You push on the pain point, and once you put the pain point, now you provide a painkiller solution. Now be aware that whenever you do that, you don't just state your offer right here. I'm going to show you the rest of the copy because there are actually 2 more steps than this to go ahead and kind of do the closure. And I'm going to show you how you do that. But one mistake that a lot of gym owners do is that they just say, oh, 10-day free pass, like this. The thing is, like, I'm like, okay, I just built up some momentum. Let's say I'm just like, okay, like, oh, I really want my New Year's resolution achieved. And then you're just like, hey, here is a 10-day free pass. Like, if I don't want a 10-day free pass, I'm not going to get it. Or if I'm actually somebody that just wants a 10-day free pass and just want a free workout, I'm going to take it, you know. So it's really, you're going to get more of those people in which you don't really want, but you want people that have a problem that you want to solve, which is why we put it that way. So a better way to do a painkiller solution with the context I just gave you would be something like this. So remember, the last sentence we have was something along the lines of, are you sick and tired of every year, same story, those New Year's resolutions never get achieved? Well, today is a lucky day because we help more than 500 people to actually achieve their weight loss journey, and we are running, and then you basically go ahead and put the offer in. But it's not really like, okay, this is only about this. You just show, okay, we help people to actually get their weight problem solved for good and make sure the weight loss is consistent. We are also making sure through this ad only you are getting 10-day free passes, and that's my next point, because those are 1, 2, 3, but then there are 2 more pieces to this. We have 1, 2, 3, you can push it to 4, but ideally 1 to 3, 1 sentence, really important, really short, benefits with check marks. Now, it's going to be looking like this. So you're going to have check mark 1. We're going to do it a bit more centered for you guys to be able to see it. Check mark 1, check mark 2. Sorry, I didn't went to art school, as you can see. Check mark 3. All right. And so the reason we have those is to make sure that I'm going to just unzoom a bit. When somebody is looking at a copy, some of them are going to read through the whole thing, which is great, but some of them are just going to go and skip through the whole thing. They're going to see, okay, this talks to me, ladies in this country, I'm feeling this pain point, all right? They're not going to see the push on the pain point, push on the pain point kind of thing. They're going to see, okay, pain point, and they're going to see the benefits. And then it's going to get them to see a bit more, because they're like, okay, pain point, and oh, those benefits can actually solve my pain point. And then they're going to be really back and forth, see if it makes sense, and take action. So that's the way we go about making sure we get as many people to take action as possible, while making sure also they don't have to read through the whole copy, so that for them to make sense to go ahead and check it out. You list 1 to 3 benefits. Now it's 1 sentence, like 5, 6 words, like extremely short to the point. It's not features like, hey, you're gonna get like workouts coached by a professional coach. They don't give a shit about that. They really give something like, okay, a supportive environment that's gonna make you grow. Something like proven, easy to follow methods that are proven to work. Things like this works way better than just a meal plan. like you know, everybody can get a meal plan like on the side of the road right now. So it's really not valuable. And then the last step there is going to be your call to action. I'm going to zoom back a bit. It's going to be your call to action. Really simple. Now your call to action, make sure it's not something that's too binary. Again, don't make it something like, hey, grab your 10-day free passes. It works, but there is better than this, because again, as I mentioned, if you only make it centered around the offer, if I'm like, I don't really give a shit about a 10-day free pass, what I really want is I want my problem to be solved, which is what we build up upon this point. So let's not lose this momentum here. What we're going to be saying, a good way to say that based on the context we just built up on this ad, for example, would be, let's make 2024 your best year ever. Click learn more to find out how we can help you out to do this. Something like that, but making sure we keep it into the same loop so that we can go ahead and say, and kind of give a closure. The thing is, if you take a look at copywriting, for example, which is the art of writing basically anything, but in this case, Facebook ads, you are really opening loops here. So whenever we started to push on the pain point, we're like, okay, pain point created, loops is created, cool. Now I'm pushing on it, I'm pushing on it, I'm pushing on it, I'm pushing on it. And the thing is, you gotta make them feel like the only way for them to close this loop is by checking this thing out. That's really how you go ahead and you make it happen. And then there's a whole other thing on what's happening on the landing page or the lead form. That's going to be for a whole other video, but I just wanted to make sure I share this framework with you because it works like bananas, my friend. So just to give you a quick recap, it's going to be PPP, pain point, push on the pain point, then painkiller solution, 1 to 3 sentences, benefits like this, this, and this, points that people can follow and see, okay, this looks good, and then a call to action, as straightforward as this. And if you use this properly, you can get anywhere between 20 to 50 members per month solely from Facebook ads with 1K ad spend, like this, my friend. So I hope you like this video. By the way, there is a pitch in the description. Yeah, not the best way to sell it, but this is really the fact. I want to be straightforward with you guys and honest. There is a pitch, first link in the description. Check it out if you're interested in getting more members consistently and helping you guys doing that on a 100% pay on the result basis. If that's not something you're interested in, I don't really mind. I like the fact, well, I actually love the fact that you spend this time with me today because I know your time is extremely valuable. You don't really have a time during your days. So I want to thank you for your time and thank you for spending this time with me today. Excited to see in the comments what's going to be happening. If you use this copy, don't hesitate to drop a comment, a like, so you can get back to this video later. And also, yeah, I would love to see the results you get with this structure that you're going to be using in your ads. I'm looking forward to those comments. I'm going to keep you guys accountable. Anyway, see you on the next one. It was Gabriel. See you on the next video.